Hey everybody, it's Brad from the Big Family Homestead, and in this video, I have to assure you, you may think it's going to be about politics, but it's not. It's really not about politics. I have a few questions I want to ask you. We're going to do a little bit of polling, completely not scientific, but I want to hear your opinion on a few things, but I got to set the stage first, so here we go. Now, with a video titled, "Has Trump Ended Prepping?" you may be wondering, how in the world can Brad not make this a political video? Well, it's actually not. So no matter which side of the fence you end on, you got to hear me out. You got to hear the words, and then there's going to be some questions at the end, and I know you're going to be able to follow my logic, even though it's kind of pew, 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 pew sometimes. So here we go. I have to restate. Now, this is not about if Trump got in or Hillary didn't or your libertarian didn't get in. It's not about that. We're setting the stage. Clearly, we have a country divided. You've got, your far right folks thinking that this is the best thing ever since ever, and then you got your left people that are crying, and then you got protests, and you got all kinds of madness going on. And I actually heard, and this is kind of crazy, I heard on the Rush Limbaugh program yesterday that there are actually people who are being paid to go out and protest. Like, you see all these riots and stuff that are going on TV, and I just thought they were people genuinely upset about it, but it turns out that they're actually people that are being paid lots of sums of money to do this. And I didn't believe it at first, but I went and checked. And so, you don't believe me? Check this out. Here's a good one. You can make $15 an hour to be a paid protester to stop Trump. Here in Baltimore, you make $85 a day being a paid protester for, well, looks like this time they don't want pipelines. This one here in Raleigh, North Carolina, you can make $15 an hour, and they're not satisfied that Trump won. They want to figure out ways to stop him still. Here's one in New York where you can make $2,400 a month being a post-election protester. Here in Chicago, you can make $600 a week for the LGBTQ. I don't know what the Q's for. But you can make $600 a week in Chicago being a paid protester for them. In Minneapolis, you can get $12 to $15 an hour plus a bonus being a paid protester to, I guess it says here, make polluters pay, grow the green movement. So yeah, there you go. Now this one's in Philadelphia, and this is actually pretty sweet cash. You can make up to $1,500 a week being a paid protester. Here's another one from the people in Minnesota. I just couldn't resist showing you this image because, wow, that's powerful. An eco-warrior. Paid protesters? Well, I don't understand that. If those causes that they're trying to get people's attention with, the cause, if it's so good, then wouldn't there be people willing to come and voice their opinion for free? But evidently, there must not be a group of people big enough that will do that for free because they're passionate about it. So no, they got to pay for it. That's completely jacked up. All of this stuff that we're seeing is fake. It's all fake anger. It's paid for, bought and paid for. The country is completely and clearly divided. The stock market is going wacky, depends on the minute. It's just nuts. Food inflation is going through the roof. You're paying either the same amount of money for a smaller amount of product or a little bit more money and still less product. It seems like the only free speech you can have is one that everybody agrees with, which nobody agrees with because nobody can agree. Our economic system is sure to fail. With the amount of debt we have, it's a one-way street, and it's a dead end, and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. All of this and more stuff just piling up. But a strange thing has happened, and I've noticed it, and I've called a bunch of my self-reliant friends that since the election happened, which isn't too terribly long ago, but since the election happened, those folks who would call themselves preppers, the self-reliant folks, the people that are putting away a little extra food, learning how to garden, learning how to take care of yourself without having to need other people's, as much, the prepper type people. The thing is that they seem to have kind of relaxed, and I don't know why. And so I've got a few questions for you guys in general. If you're a prepper, great. If you're not, voice your opinion anyway. We're going to have a couple polls, and the first question is this. Do you think that since the election, it's more important, less important, or about the same level of importance to continue with your preparations? Do you feel like things are going to be getting better and we don't need to be as concerned, or we need to be much more concerned, or about the same? So there's question one for preparedness. Now the next question is kind of one for me, and it's because I genuinely want to know what you guys think. And the question is this: do you feel that there's been a shift in attitude in terms of society and preparedness, in terms of folks who are the self-reliant mindset folks? Do you think that there's been a shift that has been more relaxed? Do you think that there's been a shift that is more tense, or is it about the same? Now, the last question is this. Since the election, if you are a prepared mind person, if you are a self-reliant kind of person, my question is, do you feel more inclined to share your urgency with other people or not? So do you feel like you should be communicating the message of preparedness more, less, or about the same now since the election as opposed to before it? Now, I'm asking all these things because I talk to a lot of different people, YouTubers, a lot of you folks out there, and a lot of you are prepared-minded people. They put away a little extra food. They make sure that they know how to do skills, all of those things. And the conversations I've been having have been very interesting, but a lot of people have kind of shifted their mentality to almost like, I guess, there's a collective sigh that went through the room, and I wonder why, and I don't understand it, because I kind of feel like the office of the president is, it's a very important role, no doubt, but I think that society doesn't shift on a dime, and I think that we who are, focused on making sure that our families are cared for, I find it interesting that people kind of just go, oh, stuff's going to be okay now. And so there it is. I promised you it wasn't going to be political. This was always about preparedness. So let your comments down below. Let's see what you have to say. I'm just curious because I don't understand it and I want to understand it better. So there it is. Please like and share the video, subscribe, all that wonderful yada yada and yippee skippy. Brad with the Big Family Homestead. You guys have an amazing day.